Have you ever felt like you've just hit a wall in your language learning? I mean, you know all the grammar rules, you've got a ton of vocabulary down, but you just don't sound, well, natural? If that sounds familiar, you have come to the right place. We're going to go way beyond the textbook today to unlock that real native-like fluency you've been working for. It is so frustrating, isn't it? You've put in all those hours, you've done the flashcards, but when you open your mouth to speak, it just feels clunky, almost like you're reading from a script. Look, you are definitely not alone in feeling this way, and the best part is, this is a problem we can absolutely solve. So here's the thing. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting the same results. The secret isn't just to cram more words into your brain. No, it's about a complete shift in your strategy. It's about changing how you practice, how you listen, and yeah, even how you think in the language. And to get you there, we've got a super clear roadmap. We're going to start with the big picture, what I call the 3 pillars of fluency. Then we'll dive deep into each one. First sound, then flow, and finally mindset. And to top it all off, we're going to wrap everything into a simple 90-day action plan you can literally start the second this is over. All right, so this is it. This is the core of the whole method. I want you to think of these 3 pillars like the legs of a stool. You know, if one is too short or wobbly, the whole thing just doesn't work. But when you get all 3 of them strong and balanced, you got this incredibly solid foundation for sounding, speaking, and really, truly thinking like a native. So let's break them down real quick. First up is sound. This is all about mastering the actual music of the language. Next, we have flow. This is where you unlock that smooth, instinctive way of speaking, moving away from awkward, single words. And third, and this is the deepest level, is mindset, getting a feel for the cultural logic that shapes the entire language. Okay, let's jump into Pillar 1, mastering sound. Seriously, this is where we need to stop obsessing over just the words on the page and start paying attention to the rhythm, the melody, the intonation. It's about how you say it. That is the huge difference between just speaking a language and actually living in it. Now, the #1 most powerful tool you have for this is a technique called shadowing. It sounds simple, but trust me, it's a game changer. You're not just listening and then repeating, you're actually speaking almost at the exact same time as a native speaker, trying to copy every little nuance as it happens. You're basically rewiring your brain and training your mouth to make the music of the language. So, how do you do it? Easy. And it only takes about 10 to 15 minutes a day. You just play a short audio clip and you start repeating what they say just a fraction of a second behind them. But here's the secret sauce. It's all in step 3. You have to focus on mimicking the music. Don't worry about getting every single word perfect. Your goal is to copy the melody of their voice. And beyond shadowing, you want to build these habits. Maybe learn the specific sounds of the language using the IPA. Definitely listen way more than you talk. And I know this one can be tough. You have to record yourself speaking. It might feel a little cringy at first, I get it, but listening to your own voice and comparing it to a native speaker is the absolute fastest way to hear what you need to fix. All right, let's build on that. Now that your sound is improving, it's time to tackle Pillar 2, finding flow. This is all about breaking that terrible habit of translating word by word in your head. It's time to start thinking and speaking in whole, natural phrases. This slide just says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the learner way of thinking. Get on with it. It's slow, it sounds totally robotic. But a native speaker? They don't hear 4 separate words. They hear one single unit of meaning, one chunk. Get on with it. Learning to see and use these chunks is the secret to natural speech. So how do you get good at this? You become a chunk miner. Your job is to go out there and mine about 10 useful chunks every single day from the stuff you're already watching or listening to, movies, podcasts, whatever. You're not just learning single words anymore. You're collecting these ready-to-use phrases. And keeping a little phrase book of sentences you actually use is an amazing way to do it. And that brings us to our final, and maybe the most profound pillar, adopting the mindset. This is the part that so many people miss. A language isn't just a collection of words and rules. It is a direct reflection of a culture's history, its values, its entire way of seeing the world. Take this for example. In a very direct culture, like say German, people expect you to say exactly what you mean. But in a more high-context, indirect culture like Japanese, a huge amount of the meaning is communicated through what isn't said. If you don't understand that fundamental difference, you're going to constantly misunderstand people or come across the wrong way.
So you need to start looking for these cultural scripts. When you watch a movie, ask yourself, what do these people value? Pay attention to the humor. If you can finally understand the jokes, you are so close to fluency. Notice how people build an argument or disagree with each other. It's about learning all those unwritten rules of the road. Okay, so that's the theory. We have sound, flow, and mindset. But theory doesn't mean a thing if you don't put it into action, right? So let's get practical. Let's combine all of this into a simple, step-by-step 90-day plan to get you off that plateau for good.
And here is what it looks like. We're not talking about hours and hours a day. It's a manageable routine, maybe 30 to 60 minutes. But notice how every day you're hitting all three pillars. You've got 10 minutes of shadowing for your sound, 15 minutes of chunk mining for your flow, plus lots of listening. Then each week you have bigger goals. Have real conversations, check in on your accent, and do a little deep dive on the culture. It's completely doable.
And if you stick with this, I promise you, you are going to see real, noticeable progress. By the end of the first month, your accent will be clearer and you'll have enough chunks to get through small talk. By month 2, your speech is just going to feel smoother. And by the end of 90 days, you'll be handling everyday's stuff with a rhythm and a confidence that'll feel brand new.
Before we wrap up, I just want to leave you with this one thought. The goal of all this work is not to erase who you are. It's not about losing your own voice or your own identity. It's about adding to it. It's about becoming a richer, more complex version of yourself, one who can navigate multiple worlds. So, the ball is in your court. You have the framework, you've got the 90-day plan. The only real question left is, what are you going to do next? Which pillar will you start building today? Are you going to do 10 minutes of shadowing for your sound? Go find a couple cool phrases for your flow? Or watch a short video to start tuning into the mindset? That first step is yours to take.